If you're a business owner out there that already knows what the letters PPP and EIDL mean, then you might think that there's no more governmental help out there. That's right, both of those programs have essentially run their course. So today I'm going to share with you that there is financial help still available. So stick around, you're not going to want to miss this. So you heard right. There is still one program available, and yes, it is still available, known as the Employee Retention Credit, also known as ERC. So if you're a business owner out there with employees, specifically W-2 employees during 2020 and 2021, then you can still retroactively, that's right, you can still get these funds. Now we're going to get into all of that, but before we do, please drop a like for this video. It's going to help other business owners hear about this and you can help spread the word. And if you're interested in taking the discussion offline, I just opened access to our private Discord community, Millionaire Movement. Check it out. So way back in March of 2020, when the whole world shut down, many people started to hear about the ability to get things like PPP, a forgivable loan, PPP2, again, a forgivable loan, and even a grant through EIDL. And then the struggles began to present themselves. You probably heard of people waiting on their money. You probably heard of some PPP fraud, and even people never getting that EIDL advance. Well, I'm happy to share with you that due to some changes in 2021 and a few more rule changes very recently, you can now apply for the Employee Retention Credit, ERC, and get back up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. Now, I mentioned the rules changed. So if you got PPP, yes, you can still get this ERC tax credit. If you got EIDL, yes, you can still get the ERC tax credit. So long as you had payroll, which means you W-2 employees, then you may qualify for some credits in 2020 and or 2021. Now, just to clear this up, if you are an independent contractor, a sole proprietor, or you just paid, your employees cash under the table, or they were all 1099s, then unfortunately, this does not apply to you. But stick around at the end of this video. I'll give you a way where you can help. It'll be a win-win for everybody. Now, I mentioned those rule changes, so I often hear, oh, Rich, I looked at that about a year ago, and my accountant CPA says I don't qualify. Well, it's worth another look. Likewise, some people think that you can only qualify if you had a certain revenue reduction, or that this program in general already expired. I heard a date of, September 30th, 2021. Rich, this date is come and gone, sorry. Well, none of that is true. Yes, you can retroactively go back and file for this tax credit. Essentially, what you're looking to do is look back at your 2020 quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, 941 forms, and for 2020, actually get back up to 50% of qualified wages. Now, the rules changed, like I mentioned before, for 2021, and you can look at Q1, Q2, Q3, and get back potentially up to 70% of qualified wages. So I helped a restaurant just last week. They are a smaller shop. They make smoothies. They have 10 full-time employees that sort of kind of work different shifts, come in early, some stay late. And of course they were affected by the shutdowns. They had a couple of quarters where maybe they were up and a couple of quarters where maybe they were down. And they also had supply chain issues. But for that business with their 10 employees, they were able to get just over $250,000. That's right, $260,000 plus. So for those of you out there thinking okay, well, how does this kind of work? I did get PPP, but you just threw a big number out there, Rich. This is potentially 3 or 4 times more profitable for your business. And let me say this, these are funds you've already paid. If you do not apply, if you don't even just do your due diligence and check out the qualifying questionnaire, I'll leave a link down below to that, then you're letting the government keep your money. Now, I just mentioned like a mom and pop local style business, like a restaurant, but kind of thinking of this on a larger scale, I also helped a home healthcare agency. Now, this agency has over 200 employees, and they're the type of people who hire nurses, LPNs, phlebotomists, people to go into your homes and provide the medical care that you need. Now, of course, during governmental shutdowns or when people had to basically like not leave their house, a business like that was drastically impacted. And I'm happy to say that I helped them get over $2 million back in this refundable tax credit. Literally, a check is coming to their business, and sure, the IRS is backed up. I guess the only downside is that the waiting for the IRS to send the check right now, we're seeing takes maybe at least 6 months up to 8, but usually only takes 4. They're just a little behind right now. So who qualifies? Well, of course, I mentioned before, you have to have those W-2 employees. And one thing I should say, unfortunately, like 50% owners, their immediate family, those people are excluded from the analysis and calculation. But if you have W-2 employees, there's actually 3 different ways to qualify. The first one that everyone talks about is revenue reduction. So if your business was down in 2020, any of those quarters, not just for the year, you could be down one quarter and up the next. It's not a total for the year. It's any of those quarters. Well, then you could potentially qualify for that quarter in 2020, and we'll carry that over all the way to 2021. The rules were a little bit different, actually more generous in 2021. So again, it's worth taking a look at the qualifying questionnaire. Now, the second way to qualify would be if you actually had a full or partial shutdown. Think of those government mandates. Your county had a state of emergency. Again, going back to my restaurants, they can't have people sitting down. They can do takeout only. Things like that are going to qualify you during that governmental shutdown. And the third way to qualify is kind of a little bit of a newer gray area. It's kind of like an outlier, if you will, but it would be supply chain disruption. Think of a governmental shutdown, maybe not directly impacting you, but impacting one of your suppliers for goods, materials, services. You can't get what you need from the supplier to do your business because of the supply chain shutdown. So when and if we can document that for the quarters that apply, again, you would then qualify for this ERC, Employee Retention Tax Credit. Now, a couple of key takeaways. If you're a business owner out there who had W-2 employees during 2020 or 2021, then I want to encourage you to not pre-qualify yourself. Rather, click the link down below in the description. I've partnered with the good folks at the ERC Specialists. They are a company out of Utah that does ERC filings on your behalf 24/7. Full disclosure, the analysis is completely free. You upload the documents, they come back with a dollar figure down to the penny and say, do you want to file? If you have them file on your behalf, then yes, there is going to be a fee. But if someone were to hand me $100,000 and there is a fee attached to that, maybe let's say it's 10 or 15%, I would gladly take $85,000 or $90,000 back in my pocket for having specialists take care of something that has to do with taxes for me. Now, I mentioned to all the business owners out there that this doesn't apply to, kind of teased this earlier. If you're a sole proprietor, think my Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, DoorDash, if you were a 1099 employee or you only paid people cash, you can still help your community. I'm going to leave a link down below in the description to join the affiliate program related to the ERC Specialists. With this program, you can help spread the word, essentially be an advocate for your community. Talk to your friends, your neighbors, your network, your circle, and let them know that this employee retention credit is out there. When they apply and if they qualify, they're going to get their money and you receive a small commission. So please check it out. Now, I know I threw percentages at you and a lot of big numbers, but I have done videos walking you through step by step exactly how to apply. This is not something that I can recommend people do it yourself. Even when it comes to taxes, I've got my local tax guy here. I've got CPAs that I talk with. with. And when you're dealing with a complicated situation and nobody wants to get audited, again, feel free to check out that video and it'll walk you through how to apply for free to see if you qualify step by step. Also, my website is full of resources on who qualifies, how this works with PPP, even a little bit of a deep dive into that supply chain disruption. I think more and more people are going to be researching that and seeing if that could help them qualify. So again, check out that website. All right, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. All right, as always, I'm Rich, and until next time.